it'll be fun for you as you're moving through the days that are following. Just think about thoughts being in the air, like the radio signals are in the air. And then think about what you may be tuning your thoughts to. And then watch how the universe will deliver to you evidence of the thoughts that are active within you. It's a really good process to help you to feel the power of your own focus. Esther was visiting with all of her wonderful staff, a lot of them at 2 tables, and they had a lot of conversations going, and it wasn't easy to even know everything that was going on. It was a very loud room with lots of reverberation, and so Esther was focusing and listening and focusing and listening, and one of the conversations that sort of went by that she sort of heard was a conversation about a particular bat cave in a tunnel not far from where she lives in Texas, and she just sort of heard it go by. She didn't acknowledge any interest in it whatsoever. She wasn't even trying to figure out where it was. She didn't think about it before or after. She only heard about it. But the next day, a friend asked her if she'd like to just go for a ride, and suddenly she's sitting in that parking lot with that sign of that bat cave, and she thought, you were nowhere near this conversation. Nobody talked to you about this. How did we end up at the bat cave? And we say, thoughts are in the air. So we're wanting to remind Esther and all of you that a soft and gentle focus with no resistance produces nearly instantaneous results. A soft and gentle focus. We really want you to hear this. It's not the softness or the gentleness of the focus that gives you nearly instant manifestation. It's the absence of resistance. It's the absence of resistance. It's the absence of contradictory thought. The reason that we are saying to you soft and gentle focus is because those things you really care about, you have ground them into the ground. And in the process, you've thought about them so much that you've introduced a lot of resistance to the process. So your introduction of resistance is the problem, which you usually don't do if it's soft and gentle focus. So it's easier for you to think about a relationship relative to someone else than it is about yourself. And in your playfulness about it, because there was a softer and a more gentle focus upon something that is important to you, and in the process of that you lowered your resistance, and in the lowering of resistance something that you want is flowing into your experience. These things that you want would be consistently giving you evidence in your experience if you were not consistently thinking about them in a way that will not let them in. And why do you consistently think about what you want in a way that doesn't let them in? Because you are so enamored with the reality of what is. What is contradicts what is becoming. If what is doesn't contain what you're asking for, can you see that? Your attention to what is a contradiction to what you want much of the time. If you want a boyfriend and you don't have a boyfriend, and you're talking about a boyfriend and you're looking at what is, your attention to what is contradicting what you want and not letting it in. When you start getting movement, it's because for some reason resistance is lower. When you stop getting movement, it's because for some reason resistance is higher. You've just got to pay attention to what you're thinking about, to how you're feeling, you see. And we're trying to get you to let yourself across the board have a big advantage by saying to you, what is old news. And if you could stop making so much reference to what is and to how it's been and to how long it's been there and to those things, then you would stop your conversations about resistance. In short, what we're really saying to you is you are offering a lot of conversation that is resistant in nature, and you don't even know you're doing it. But you know how to know you're doing it? If what you want isn't coming. If you're not getting movement on something, it always means the same thing. You've got resistant conversation going on, and when you cut that out, you'll get movement. Because you've been asking for it for a long time, and it's all in the pipeline, it's all in the works. And this is what we're talking about here. Anything that causes you to shift the way you feel about what is happening in your present life experience will allow your present life experience to morph into more of what you have been asking for. It's powerful. And so it's really fun as you more deliberately think about things and they manifest in your experience, or they show up in one way or another. How often do you say to someone, I can't believe it. I was just talking about that. Haven't thought about that in 10 years. Was just talking about it yesterday. And here we're having the conversation about it again. Well, that's not coincidence. That's not chance. That's not a lucky thing. That's thoughts are in the air. That's thoughts are in the air, and you're in the receptive mode. And the same way that you received that thought and then you received that experience, anything and everything that you care about is coming to you in the same way, you see. So it's all good. It's all good. The more you acknowledge the positive aspects of what's coming to you, the more of them will come.